words, major rivers are being seriously polluted. And why is this happening? Well, too often we pit one need against another as we use rivers and lakes to meet our needs. We grow food in ways that send pollution into our drinking water. We often manufacture products in ways that use more water than is necessary. And we clear away forests without thinking about the erosion that we wash into our waters. Today on Earthfile, we focus on what happened recently along the Ogun River in southwest Nigeria. Welcome to the program. I'm Ayola Kasim. Members of the Sanasa Sand Sellers Association of Isheri. It is not the best of time for business, and this is not related to the economic downturn. Their trouble started on the night of Friday, the 17th of June 2016. A high wave brought in a large quantity of seaweed, water spinach, and hyacinth. The following morning, many of the villagers cry, "This is a divine occurrence." It has never happened before. For the sand dredgers, the weeds have blocked the pathway to their money-making ventures.
There is no opportunity to walk at all because there is no thoroughfare. We are simply watching. This job is our source of livelihood. The two dominant plants deposited on the river have been termed invasive species. Researchers have described water hyacinth as a free-flowing perennial plant that can grow to a height of 3 feet. The dark green leaf blades are circular to elliptical in shape, attached to a spongy, inflated petiole. Underneath the water is a thick, heavily branched, dark fibrous root system. It is a very aggressive invader and can form thick mats covering the entire surface of the water. They can cause oxygen depletions and fish death. It has been labeled as the world's worst water weed and has garnered increasing international attention as an invasive species. Water hyacinth can cause extensive environmental, social, and economic problems. It is found in lakes, estuaries, wetlands, marshes, ponds, slow-flowing rivers, streams, and waterways in the lower latitudes where growth is stimulated by the inflow of nutrient-rich water from urban and agricultural runoff, deforestation, product of industrial waste, and insufficient wastewater treatment. Water spinach, meanwhile, is a floating vine. It has long branching stems containing a milky sap, with roots extending from leaf nodes. Water spinach has created a variety of problems for fishery management, navigation, irrigation, and ecology of native plants in a number of areas around the world. Floating stands can cover the water surface, shading native plants and effectively competing with native plant species. Water spinach can grow at a rate of 4 inches per day, producing 84 tons of fresh weight biomass per acre in 9 months. Branching stems can reach 70 feet in length.
Upland, the rivers, the streams, they have fresh water. And the habitat there, especially the flora, is mostly the water hyacinth. The water hyacinth are pushed towards the south or downstream to the lower levels of the rivers when it rains heavily. So when it rains heavily, these water hyacinths are, loose and come towards the lower portion of the river, which is what happened, over.
Alhaji Seriki arrived in Isheri in 1962 as an apprentice. He is one of those who witnessed the start of the dredging business in the area. In 2008, he became the 4th chairman of the Sanasa Sand Sellers in Isheri, having risen through the ranks. His association lost 21 boats that night. They have recovered 10, but the fate of others are unknown. They haven't been affected this bad before now by seaweeds.
This is not the first time, but we have never had it this bad.
It's used to trickle in so that we will all contribute to evacuate it into the sea so that we can do our job. We do not dredge around here. We were permitted by the government to do that. I leased this river from Isheri here to Ishasi, and we've never failed this government. But this occurrence is more than we can handle. Those of us who are dredgers are affected. Fishermen were particularly affected. Not that the river dried up, no, it didn't. A large volume of seaweeds came from somewhere. It can, in a big swoop overnight. It washed off 21 of our boats. We have recovered 10 out of them, remaining 11. Some were almost washed into the sea before we recovered them. The water came at night. Some had subsided. It was just a night. That very night, it took the boats away, and it came suddenly.
Isheri-Olofin is a populated place. The estimated terrain elevation above sea level is 37 meters. The Ogun River is a major source of income for many people here in Isheri-Olofin. However, fishermen here have had their fortune reversed by the menacing plant in recent times. Right now, they are at a loss as to when they will be able to get their lives back on track. Water transportation is a saving grace for some residents of Isheri-Olofin village who work and school on the other side of the river. Ogun River is a significant river in the western part of Nigeria. The river is a waterway that rises in Oyo State near Shaki and flows through Ogun State and discharges into the Ikorodu axis of the Lagos Lagoon. In densely populated areas, the river is used for bathing, washing and drinking. It also serves as a drain for mostly organic wastes from abattoirs located along the river's course. The sand sellers have an insight into what may have gone wrong.
The majority of the seaweeds and some wastes that were disposed into the river upstream combined with trees, and as they were washed down the stream, the flow was stopped by the bridge. And if the cleaning is not done as soon as possible, it may affect the bridge connecting Lagos and Ogun. Only God knows the cause. Maybe they released water from the dam, although I cannot confirm this because I did not see that. As a respectable person, I must not say what I cannot confirm, but that is my thought, because when you look at the water, the level is higher.
First of all, that place has intense human activities. There is a market which is buoyant every day of the week, and there are debris that are generated, there are waste generated, and the people don't dump it anywhere but into the stream. And this has been going on for years, decades. Therefore, all the refuse, all the domestic waste, all the other wastes that are being dumped have been accumulated over the years. Now, since these domestic wastes are accumulated in that particular portion, the sediments that come naturally through the river channels just merge up with the sediments, and there is a huge accumulation. Normally, the sediments are dredged by local people who want to sell sand. But because it is mixed with dirty domestic waste, nobody dredges it. So it's accumulated over the years. And that becomes a very fertile ground for the water hyacinth to thrive.
Indeed, the tide may rise higher if nothing is done as soon as possible.